Special deal just for you this year, all sports passes. Special cut rate deal too. Normally your job would be when people call.
Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please. Congratulations.
Raleigh. Here. Johnson.
Here.
Mars.
Here.
Oldfield.
Here.
Slack.
Here.
Stanley.
Here. And I'd like to announce we have our new student board member, which is Chloe Hitchcock. So welcome.
You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm a junior. I'm involved in theater, art club, band, basically the arts. And that's really it.
Okay. Welcome. Thank you. Please rise and join the board in saying Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll start off with honoring knowledge. Farmington Central Junior High Boys Track and Field State Qualifiers.
All right. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Last month we recognized our junior high girls track state qualifiers. Tonight we're going to honor and recognize our junior high boys state qualifiers. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the head coach of the junior high, Coach Nick Hawk. Coach.
Hello. I'd like to go ahead and bring all the boys who qualified for state. If you're here, come on up. Well, we had to come tonight. All right. Jake, we'll start with you. Jake, as a 6th grader, qualified for 7th grade state mile. He not only ran his personal best at sectionals to go to state, and he turned around at the nice competition we had at state and ran another personal best. So he had an excellent year, and we look forward to what he's going to do here in the next few years. So, as well as other individuals, we have a few who weren't here that I'll mention. We had Logan Morris in 8th grade who qualified in high jump and 400. We also had Braden Morris qualifying 7th grade pole vault, and Dan Hitchcock qualifying 7th grade hurdles. These two gentlemen over here, Sam McMillan and Caden Runyon, were part of the 4x4 team for the 8th grade boys. We also have Logan Morris as part of that team, as well as Reese Shemansky. They did a great job all year long. They worked hard. We were kind of on the bubble whether or not we'd be in the running for state qualification or not. And then the actual day we ran at state, these guys really showed what they're all about. It was a horrible day. We spent half the time inside due to rain, and we weren't really sure when we were going to be able to run, if we were going to be able to run at all. And then they came out there at the very last event and ran their best time they've ran all year. So these guys all did a fantastic job. Way to go.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Coach.
Stand right over here, Jake. We'll do a picture with you guys.
Congratulations.
Thanks,
Thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
This time we'd like to honor past board member and turn it over to Dr. Caddy.
Dr. Martin, come on up. So I'm sure that you did not know what you were signing on for. You had some other service organizations that you volunteered for, but I'm assuming that the school board was a little bit more consuming as far as your time and energy than most. But
It was exciting.
we appreciate your service from 2017, 2019, and tell us what committees you served on the board.
I served on the bullying committee, served on the curriculum committee, and, oh man, I'm trying to think. Policy committee, yeah, everyone should start on the policy committee.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the training was for the board meetings up in Chicago was amazing. There's a lot of stuff I use at Bradley that I learned on board, so.
Well, thank you so much, and we have some other gifts for you as well, but here's your plaque. And you go around and say thank you to everyone, and
All right, moving on to the consent agenda. Items 1 through 5 are included on the consent agenda. Is there anything at this time that anyone has questions about or pulled out?
You want to make a motion first?
Oh, yeah, thank you. Need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Discussion?
The landscaping is not here, or the high school landscape? I haven't
High
been
school
over there.
landscape, yes.
Okay, looks good, doesn't it? I haven't been around.
looks beautiful.
Okay, all right, I haven't been around there, I missed that one. What was the PCM Designs, it was $12,000 for the spring project?
That's our architect.
That's an architect, okay, fair enough. This one, I didn't know what this was. Pleasant Valley Mid, summer tuition.
So the extended school year program that some of our students qualify is held out at Pleasant Valley. So
Oh, okay. Oh, the mileage reimbursement for you, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, what's you went somewhere apparently a long way.
I went a lot of places, I just hadn't turned it in.
Yeah.
So,
The only thing I saw about that, I think, does it, in your contract, does it not say it has to be done like pre-approval, anything we're setting right on?
I could look, I'm
I
not
believe so.
Okay.
So we probably need to pay attention to that to make sure we're looking at it. I did look at it, that's what it says, and it was $75 for some reason, I don't know why. Oh, the FFA, the Red Cedar Lumber for Garden, did we pay for that, or did they pay for that? Is it, would this be a count out of their fund, or would this be, you know, it's not that big, I was just curious. You got 10.
I'll have to get back to you on that.
Well, that's just, okay, all right, fair enough. And then, Hart Technologies, cameras, 22,000, that ring a bell?
Yeah, I mean, that's our normal camera, we do camera upgrades.
Oh, okay, no, I'm curious, you know, I like to take notes, like to see what they're about, you know. Oh, and then, we did the Saxon Phonics things,
Yeah,
that is a program we're going to do.
yep.
Okay. So, the CEPCO thing, we give them a lot of money, more than this, right? This is, what would this be? This is 65,000. So, I mean, I would assume over the course of years, we pay a lot more than that. So, like, this was something special, or just?
Well, it appears like that's the June bill, so it's a shorter month.
So it just
So there'd
less
be
than normal?
lesser
Okay.
tuition.
All right. Oh, this, you probably know this right off here. Transfer vehicle fuel costs from transportation to education fund. Is that something we had to do, or something we wanted to do? I mean, the education fund's got a big deficit, I just wanted to.
Sure.
There's gotta be a reason.
I can look into that, but I'm assuming that that was the correlation for the activity bus, but I can get back to you on that. Because
So
you
if
can't.
that- if that's the
because
case,
of
we
that-
had to.
Yeah. the
Okay,
activity bus
fair enough.
Can't be paid for out of transportation.
Right, okay. Well, as long as that's what it is, that's good. But otherwise, no, let's not add any more deficit to the
Yeah.
education fund.
I'll get confirmation on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, need a roll call.
Brewer? Yes. Farley? Yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Marr?
Yes.
Oldfield?
Yes.
Slack?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yep.
All right, we are on to the bread bid. No, let's see. I missed one here. We've got Activities Department, contractual services. We're going to hold on part of that. But one thing, I'm sorry?
Did you say presentations?
Yeah, you actually have something.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
He's in a hurry to go home tonight.
That's not a lie. Request for public hearing. Meeting protocol requires board agenda item proposal from the public to be requested a minimum of 5 days prior to the meeting. However, this does not prohibit individuals from addressing the board publicly. Do we have anyone who would like to address the board? Please step to the podium.
I would, if that's okay.
Okay. And Dr. Martin, I think you did approach Dr. Chatterton by email, so you are allowed a little bit over that 5 minutes.
Thank you. I know the board has been trying to make a decision regarding an emotional support dog in the school, and I wasn't sure how many people had reached out to professionals to find out what. I know President Johnson has spoken with medical professionals, and I know Kelly Brewer has spoken with me about it. It's a topic I teach about in class as well, and I have them come into my classes at Bradley, a local organization trains them. So first off, our children's lives are not like ours. It's tempting to say, we didn't need this stuff when we were young. We didn't need that. But anxiety is much more common. Kids aren't as active. They're in front of screen time, computers. We just got through a major recession a few years ago. People are still anxious about that. Jobs, cell phones, social media has very negative effects on anxiety, especially for young women with Twitter and Instagram. One study found a 20% increase in anxiety from age 6 to 17, so school age, simply between 2007 and 2012. UCLA found that incoming freshmen had higher anxiety levels, 18% in 2000, 41% by 2016. Another looked at 80,000 high school and college students over the last 80 years. Mental health issues rose 500%. Nearly 1/3 of all high schoolers will experience some type of anxiety disorder. 38% of girls, 26% of boys. They have more psychiatric issues. The normal kids, the regular kids, have more psychiatric issues and anxiety today than kids who were in psychiatric hospitals in the 1950s. They face a lot of issues we don't have. Now, first, I would like to comment on the allergies. I spent several years in biology, and I teach some of this in class as well. Allergy, the word allergy or allergic reaction means many different things. It can mean, I got a little bit of poison ivy here from gardening the other day, fish, pollen, all the way to death due to peanut allergies. Well, mammalian dander allergy, which people call pet allergy because it's typically pets, but it's cattle, it's horses, it is rabbits, it's any of that. And cats are the worst because they have very small dander compared to dogs. But that is not typically deadly. Actually, I couldn't find any actual case of anaphylactic shock. And there was one suspected one with a 3-year-old in the back seat being licked in the mouth by a dog for 15 minutes. And so that's a very unique case. Much like poison ivy, it can be deadly. If you burn it and breathe it, it could cause inflammation and kill you. But most of us aren't going to cancel hunting or going out for morels or anything for fear of poison ivy. And so allergies aren't, this particular type of allergy isn't known to be deadly, no more than, less so than poison ivy. And schools, they've researched, they've looked into whether or not it can be prevented. They have built schools with ventilation on the floor, did not significantly change allergen levels. In fact, schools with high pet ownership have 500% more allergens. We bring it in our clothing. It's on our clothing, it's on our shoes. My children come in with a rabbit, cattle, miniature horses, a dog, and a cat allergens on them every day. We have more allergens on us than dogs that are specifically groomed for the task, especially hypoallergenic ones. It's spread easily through the homes. It's in the homes of people who don't have pets. It's inescapable. And in schools, especially those with high pet ownership, and I bet we qualify as high pet ownership. It is very common, and even if you design the whole building around it, you can't get around it. We also have children with citrus allergies in the school presently. Lemons, oranges can cause them immense reactions, and yet The school is professional enough to work around it. Peanut allergies, we are not a peanut-free school. And so we work around that. So the allergen issue with the service animals, they are allowed in government-funded apartments. Emotional support animals, service animals are allowed anywhere, but emotional support animals are allowed at Bradley. They're allowed at universities, they're in schools. I talked with the principal of Banner grade school. He said they love their dog, that Charlotte, the kids will work as an incentive to go and play with their dog. One of their counselors said, hey, can I train a dog? And start training it. They did, and they said it's been great. They have 2 students who are allergic. They don't spend time around it, no issues. Other schools, Clinton, Iowa, I've got family that farm up in Albany, and they've got friends in Clinton, Iowa, and they have a dog up there. They say it is awesome. Some people aren't comfortable, which actually leads me to the next topic of it, is phobias. It's been mentioned, what about dog fears? This is, I teach abnormal psychology, so this is one of my areas of specialty, and I was a behavioral neuroscientist. I was specialized in classical conditioning. And so phobias are a learned response, and they're serious. But systematic desensitization is when you gradually expose somebody to the fear response, and they're relaxed, or they learn to relax around it, and that's actually a treatment. And there have been multiple stories online that I found, and one instance talking with somebody where kids who had a fear of animals actually overcame it. They didn't want to be around the dog at first, but eventually they overcame that fear by having a controlled dog that's not bouncing around, and they were able to slowly approach it on their own terms. And so some schools have come up with a variety of measures. They're no more than 40 minutes in a classroom, they're no more than 20 minutes in a classroom, but there are thousands of service animals in universities and schools nationwide. There are hundreds of support animals. I'm still trying to find a number. It's fairly new. They're adopting them, but we've heard of grades going up, of children's working harder, and just being more relaxed. My kids have always enjoyed coming to farm. I know not all kids do. And so it's just one more incentive for other kids to come in and really enjoy it. And so, in conclusion, a dog in a school of this size will have no significant effect on allergen levels, given our population of people around cattle, dogs, cats, rabbits, and everything, goats. There is a need for social emotional learning in our school or intervention. There are many clear benefits, and I've not found a single issue of an emotional support dog or a therapy dog causing a major allergic response in any school. Overwhelmingly, the principals I've talked to said it was great. They started it tentatively, worked out awesomely. And so I would encourage any of the board members, like I said, I know President Johnson and I know Kelly Brewer had talked to myself, my wife Dr. Martin, Candy Johnson. We all have access to millions of articles based on research. And so anyone who has any questions on it, feel free to contact any of those who have access to information that might help out to make this decision. And I hope that if we have a thing to benefit the kids and make them enjoy school even more, I think that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Can I speak? Or I didn't,
Sure. Yes.
okay. Should I go first?
Yep.
I own 2 therapy dogs, and we actually see 2 hospice patients right now. We see 2 kids at Charter Oak School that it's over now, but we'll have more next year. We've been to Richwoods, Limestone. We spent the day at Alaska Hinton with a lot of autistic kids. Just numerous schools and nursing homes and other facilities. We went to Caterpillar. They had a de-stress week. And I can't tell you how many people, the staff, just like, you don't even know how much this made my day. Tremont High School has a facility dog. Dunlap High School and grade school have facility dogs. Kiefer Alternative School has a facility dog. Youth Farm has a facility dog. I know in this, Schramm School in Pekin, handicap, they have a facility dog. Paws Giving Independence is a program that is based in Peoria, and they take rescue puppies. They put them in foster care for about 5 months for the basic training. Then they take them to Logan Prison, and the prisoners finish them out and train them. They're with them 24/7, so, and then they come back to the program and they're given free to handicapped people. And the facility dog at Tremont came from PGI, which is Paws Giving Independence. And so if cost is an issue, it shouldn't be, because all you have to do is ask, and they probably will provide a facility dog for free. And you could ask that it be hypoallergenic, because he's a mix of giant schnauzer and golden doodle. So he doesn't shed, and he's very hypoallergenic. You could ask for that. So cost is not going to be a big issue. And a lot of times PGI will pay for the vet, bills. And you can even see if a groomer would donate their time to keep the dog clean, if cost is the issue. But I know myself, when I started, I used to work at a dog training facility, and PGI uses our building. And just from doing this for the last, I've got his brother, and he's 6. So we've been doing it about 5 years now. And just the change in people, and especially the kids. I've had, the kids at Limestone they're a big CPCO program. So there is a lot of handicapped kids there. And they love the dogs. When they come in, students have actually cried. When they see the dog, they just, they're so happy to see them, and, comments like, oh, this is the best day ever, and, they just really make a difference. And the 2 kids I see at Charter Oak have some emotional issues, and I know when they know that they get to see him, and that's, they're they're better behaved, they're excited. They sit and talk to me, and they tell me, we'd sit there and we'll read, and they'll tell me things that they probably wouldn't say in a normal conversation to a teacher or somebody else. They just are more relaxed. So I hope you guys consider it, and I think it's a really good idea, and a lot of the schools are going to it. And Dunlap, probably per capita, the kids there, every other kid's dad's a doctor. It's full of doctors. So if they don't have an issue in that pass there, and, I don't see why it's an issue here. So that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else like to address the board this time? Okay. Seeing none, we'll move on to presentations. FFA.
Thank you for allowing us to have this time to give our annual report this year. We had a very successful 2018-2019 year. With me today, we brought our 2019-2020 officer team, and I'd like to take the time to introduce them now. Actually, I'll have them introduce themselves. We'll start with you, Ethan.
Hello, my name is Ethan Marble. I'm the current president.
My name is Will Hayden. I'm the current sentinel.
My name is Sam Dupperman, and I'm the current secretary.
I'm Katie Patterson, and I'm the vice president.
I'm Abby Simpson. I'm the reporter.
I'm Laura Stevens. I'm the historian. I'm Liz Hayden, and I'm the treasurer.
And then this is Miss Mary Plummer, and she's also co-advisor, and I am Jessica Bokniak, also one of the advisors of our program. Did you have time to review the digital copy of the annual report, or are we going to go through it step by step? I'm not sure what you guys would prefer to do.
Doesn't matter, I'd rather do it. It's impressive.
Okay, if we could, is there a way to quickly go through it? Or a remote?
We have to.
Okay. So, some department goals that we have is that we want to make sure, just in a gist, I can't read that far away, but we just want to make sure that we have well-rounded individuals coming out of our program. It's important that we are getting our students ready for career skills, and that they are, developing their skills career-wise, professionally, and that they are getting the social skills that they need in order to be successful in their adult life. And we are trying to provide those hands-on experiences for them to actually be able to go out and be contributing members of the society. In order to successfully do that, it does require the three-circle model, which the National FFA adopted. So that is the FFA, which was previously known as the Future Farmers of America. In 1988, they changed it to just FFA because it's not just about the farming. SAEs, which are what our kids will call our record books, which is some kind of hands-on project that they are incorporating their career knowledge skills in the real world outside of school time. And then, of course, the classroom/laboratory time, which is what they are doing the 8 hours a day they're here with us. So in order to really have that successful program, you have to incorporate all three of those equally. Our program is continually growing. Each year we try to kind of do a new awesome thing. This year we have implemented a new garden, and that is next to our greenhouse out in the junior high parking lot. We are just waiting on some river rock, and it will be 100% ready to go. We do have plants planted. It was a little bit late due to Mother Nature not cooperating the best. However, that's fine for us because then our harvest will be a little bit later, and we will actually be able to use the produce for our intended purposes, which is to give back to our Farmers Feeding Farmers programs, which we run. Is a program that was started, I'm not sure, Mr. Lambert, did you initially start the Farmers Market?
I did not. Mr. Stokes and a group of teachers.
Okay.
Yes.
And then the FFA has taken on and adopted it. But one of the big goals of it is providing nutritious meals for the students that do not have enough at home on the weekends to eat. So we always send home backpack meals, either if that's just the weekend or an extended break. But we put our heads together and said, hey, produce tends to be more expensive, and unfortunately these individuals don't get that fresh produce. So we filled out some grants, and we were fortunate enough to receive those grants. And we have implemented the garden system, of which we will be able to now give produce to the Farmers Feeding Farmers program. And any other leftover produce we plan to also incorporate in the career and technical education classes. So that's the FACS classes and the ag classes and all of that. So we do hope to use this in the school and outside of the school. We already introduced our officer team. And so we'll go ahead and skip this one. CDEs are a big part of what we do. We were actually very successful this year. We improved in every single one of our categories except for a very select few. We actually ranked higher in the state than we ever have. And in that section events, we actually had Miss Katie Patterson ranked second in state for the horse judging CDE, or career development event. And we were extremely proud of her for that. So that's a really big feat, because second in state it sounds very impressive in itself. However, she went up against 400 individuals, 300 individuals, and she came up second out of all of those individuals. So it's a really, really huge thing for her to do that great in that event. Other events that we do some livestock judging, we do dairy products judging, we do a lot of public speaking events, we do a lot of business and job interview events, and we do a vet science event where they learn technical skills that they can do to become a veterinary technician or a veterinarian itself. So there's a bunch of different areas. There's horticulture and floriculture. There's a little bit for everyone where they can grow and develop in a certain career area. They get to see all the different career pathways that agriculture has to it. And that's what this next slide is. Also, that's the second semester of our career development events. Chapter growth. So we like to grow professionally as well. So we attend quite a few professional development events. And we also like to just grow our members in camaraderie as well. So we have events such as the National FFA Week. We go on a ski trip. We have chapter meetings. We have wreath fundraisers where we help educate the adult groups about bow making and wreath making skills and everything just like that. Community service is a very large part of who we are. Again, Farmers Feeding Farmers is one of our major community service activities that we do. We also do a couple of others. We did the 10-gallon challenge, which was a big social media push for bringing awareness with dairy farmers. With the milk prices being so low, dairy farmers weren't turning a profit, and years of generations of farming had to be turned over because they just can't feed their families anymore without making a profit. So the 10-gallon challenge was to bring awareness to that, and also brings awareness to the mental health issue in agriculture industry as well, because with them turning over their generations of farms, they feel like they failed their family legacy. Unfortunately, a lot of farmers are committing suicide, and so the 10-gallon challenge also helps kind of bring to light that issue as well. All right, and the last one, my eyesight was better. I'm getting old. Chloe, could you read what it says for me?
Building Tomorrow's Leaders.
Building Tomorrow's Leaders, thank you. That is also, so that it highlights the leadership event, so Women Changing the Face of Agriculture is a large one. And Ag Legislative Day, where they learn about the different senators and all the different legislative positions and how to advocate appropriately, events such as that. Supervising Agricultural Experiences. This year we had 2 state degree recipients. If you two could please step forward. So we've got Ethan Marvel and Sarah Stevens here. They both received their state degree, which is the highest degree that you can earn in the state program. So they have to earn so much dollars in their record book project. They have to commit so many hours to the program. There's a lot of different steps that they have to go to in order to receive this degree. And then we also did have 1 American degree recipient, and she will receive this degree in November. Her name is Christy Martin. That is the highest ranking degree that you can get in the FFA. So she, less than 1% of members will receive that degree. And then those are just some pictures of activities that we've done. I've got 2 slides of that. So it's everything from our Ag Expo Day, where the elementary, junior high, and high school students can come out and see all the different facets of agriculture and get some hands-on learning, to different events such as National Convention. We got some fun pictures in there, to parades and other chapter events that we held. The Alumni Association is a big helper of the Farmington FFA chapter. They help us financially. They help us by donating their time and money to us as well. And they also offer words of wisdom and guidance for a lot of our students, which is extremely important for them to be able to kind of look up to someone saying, hey, they're doing the career that we would like to do. Projects this year. So our main projects, you want to talk about any of our main projects, or would you like me to keep going? I feel like I'm doing all the talking. That's fine.
I was going to say, main projects this year, we hope to expand Farmers Feeding Farmers and reach more students, as over 40% of our students receive free or reduced lunches within the school. The Big A project, which we participated in last year, it was turned in May and will be on display at the Farm Progress Show. Unfortunately, we were not named top in the Big A competition, but we are up for People's Choice Award, so anybody that goes to the Farm Progress Show, go in for People's Choice for us, please. Our raised bed garden, we got together Father's Day weekend and got all the dirt moved and put in. Lots of plants out there. If you have a chance, go out and see our garden. It is growing and has been weeded, so it's looking pretty good today and was watered recently. All right, and our 3 circles grant data. You get to talk about that one.
So that is a special grant that was created in Illinois that helps. It's for teacher retention. And so the school was gracious enough to allow me to apply for that. And what the qualifications are is basically you have to reach so much time. You have to put in at least 400 hours outside of your contract time devoted to your program in order to receive this, and then the state will match your stipend amount. And so I pulled together all of my data, and I worked over 742 hours, traveled over 5,000 miles, and impacted over 2,000 students individually through the ability of having this grant. So it kind of just helps fund all the extra hours and time away from my family, and allows me to better impact these students by giving them as much as I can. And looking at that as well that is actually just my data that I've collected. That has nothing to do with the hours that Ms. Mary Plummer has done as well. And we split pretty much all of our activities that we do 50-50. So if you want to look at that, over 1,400 hours are devoted to these awesome kids that we've got with our FFA program. And that's probably not even clocking every little thing that we do. That's just more of our major events. So it is really important to us that we make sure that these guys get every single opportunity that they can, because it's been said to quite a few ed teachers before, well, why don't you cut back what you do? You know, you are gone from your families too much, you are gone. Because not all of these kids are going to, you know, be raising corn or raising cattle. It's important that they get those horticultural experiences. It's important that they get those job building experiences and public speaking experiences so that they can shape and become better people and better citizens to serve our communities. So that's why we do as much as we do, is because it's really, really important for them to get every opportunity. They might not know that they like looking at flowers, you know, the horticulture event. That was me in high school. No, I don't want to look at flowers. I don't care about flowers. And I tried it. I loved it. And so if I wouldn't have had that opportunity, I would have never known that I liked it. So it's important for them to be able to dabble.
All right, the advisors, you know, like Ms. Spokniak said, we do a lot of things, but we have worked very well as a team this year, and we're looking forward to working very well as a team in this coming year. We have lots of opportunities coming ahead of us for us to learn. I just recently attended a soils workshop on one of the hottest days with absolutely no wind in an open cattle lot for 4 hours. But I learned a lot about soil structure and slope and how not to dig a pit through a water line. It was great. But we have a good time as advisors, and we hope to work hard to show our best and our students' best in the community and for the school district.
So thank you again for taking the time to look at our annual review report. Again, the more detailed review of how we did in our events are written in there. And we will have an electronic copy on our Farm to FFA Facebook page, and I'm assuming the school will also post an electronic copy for us as well. So please go ahead and take a look at that. We are super proud of these guys though, because yeah, we put in 1,400 hours, but these kids also go to school full time, and you know, they don't just show up at the events. They have to practice hours and hours and hours for these events, along with getting ready for that, you know, anatomy test or any other scholastic event. And you know, all of them, in order to attend these events, they have to get good grades. We won't take them anywhere if they're not getting good grades. So, and they have to be good kids too. If they're in trouble, they ain't going anywhere with us for a while. So we need to make sure that they're being the best that they can be, and we wouldn't be anywhere we are today without them. So we're super proud of them. And this isn't even, you know, this is a small chunk of them. We've got some really great kids.
We're very thankful for you as well.
Would any of you like to add anything to our long report? Thank you again very much for your time.
Thank you. Okay, moving on, we have a presentation about Girls on the Run.
Hi, my name is Shannon Hoffman. I teach third grade here at the school. This is just a small portion of our Girls on the Run team from the elementary this year. I'm not going to tell you much about Girls on the Run because I have a girl, Avery Blunier, who has found Girls on the Run to affect her life so much that she has written a speech for her 4-H project this year. Which, what did you have?
I'm Callie, and I got this stage that
Yeah, so she was a division finalist in her 4-H group for speech, and her speech is amazing. So I'm just going to introduce the girls that are here and the wonderful coaches that have volunteered their time to support these girls with this program that hopefully brings them good feelings inside, that they want to be good leaders, that they know that they can put their mind to anything that they want to accomplish in life. So that's just the building blocks, and hopefully they can have that as they grow older too. So here tonight we have Avery Blunier, we have Alina Mowen, we have Miss Emma Austin, Zoe Austin, Chloe Briggs, Addison Ludwig, and Miss Adrienne Bolton. That's just a few out of the 23 that signed up this year, and we actually had to turn girls away because the program only allows a certain amount of girls each time. Our coaches are Miss Natalie Perry, Stacy Conley, sorry, I'm so used to calling you Miss Perry, Nikki Fishman, she just got married, sorry, so that was new for me, and Karen McCullough. So I'll turn this over to Avery, and she will tell you all about Girls on the Run.
Girls on the Run is so much fun. Girls on the Run is #1. Hi, my name is Avery Blunier, and I'm going to be a 5th grader at Farmington Central Elementary this fall. This is my 2nd year participating in Girls on the Run. Tonight I'm going to tell you about this fun organization and what we do as participants. Girls on the Run is a national organization founded by Molly Barker in 1996 in Charlotte, North Carolina. A 4-time Hawaii Ironman triathlete, Molly wanted to use her background in social work and counseling to build a program that encouraged girls to be confident in their unlimited potential. She had done extensive research on adolescent issues and knew young girls could benefit from personal and team-building skills, as well as physical activity. There are currently 200 councils spanning across all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Last year, more than 1.6 million girls participated in the program. Girls in 3rd through 8th grade come together to learn skills to work better with others, be more confident in ourselves, and improve our physical fitness. Our council meets after school 2 nights a week. Each time we have a new topic or lesson that we talk about as a group before we warm up and stretch. We also do a fun activity that corresponds to the lesson. We end each session with a run. This is always a lot of fun because you can run, walk, skip, gallop, or even do cartwheels. As long as you are active and encouraging one another, anything goes. Before we leave at the end of each session, we do something called Energy Awards. They're given out by both coaches and participants to a participant that stood out that day. For example, if you were a great encourager, you would get one. They are little cheers that we all do. One of my favorites is when we crouch down and say, "Baby, you're a firework." We end every meeting with our chant. Girls on the Run is so much fun. Girls on the Run is #1. One of my personal favorite lessons was Words Matter. In this lesson, we learned that you need to think before you say something, because words can hurt or they can bring people up. You always want to bring people up, don't you? Once we started our run, a coach would write a letter on our arm as we completed each lap. If we got enough letters, the theme would be revealed. That day, everyone was working very hard to find out the theme. And by the end, our arms were bright and colorful and spelled out, "Words always matter." Each council is also required to perform a community service project during the season. Last year, our council discussed many ideas and ended up visiting the local nursing home to spend time with the residents. This year, I thought it would be fun to do a bake sale. We have an organization in our community called Farmers Closet because we're the Farmington farmers. Donations of clothing, toiletries, outwear, and supplies are collected and given to students and others in our area who are in need. If we did a bake sale, we could give our proceeds to Farmers Closet. The highlight of each season is the Statewide 5K. Groups from all over Illinois meet together in Springfield to run. Before the race, there are fun activities. Some groups even wear fun outfits like crazy socks, matching bows, or tutus. This 5K is not a competition, but a celebration of all our hard work and teamwork. It doesn't matter what you do to conquer the 3.1 miles, it just matters that you do conquer it. Last year, before I started my 5K race, I felt excited and ready. I had been practicing and learning throughout the whole season. At some points in the 5K, it felt crowded, while at other times, it felt good to have people around me. I ran the 5K with my friend Amelia and her mom, Emily. We stayed together the whole time, and they pushed me when it got tough. I got tired at times, and I wanted to give up, but I didn't because they were with me. It felt awesome to cross the finish line, and I couldn't have felt more tired and refreshed at the same time. I was very proud that I had conquered the 5K. My Girls on the Run experience has boosted my confidence, encouraged a healthy lifestyle, helped me make new friends, and most of all, have fun. This program helps our community to create our future leaders, and I highly encourage any girl to participate if they can. Thank you. Are there any questions?
She's ready to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you. Great job. Thank you.
We will do this again, and I would encourage you when it comes time for the race to go down. It's a phenomenal experience. It really is.
Now it's the time of the meeting where we move on to new business. So if anyone is not wanting to stick around, we want to take off. That's a natural break. All right, new business. As has been discussed for the past several months, Mr. Flater's been pursuing an athletic training service provider and drug testing provider. We're not ready to move at this point on the training service provider, I don't think, but drug testing provider, we'll get a motion in a second, then we'll turn it over to you. So, made a motion in a second to appoint Novex Inc. as service provider for drug testing for the 2019-2020 school. So moved. Second. Discussion. We'll let Mr. Flater comment on that, and then if anybody has any questions, they can direct them to Mr. Flater.
Thank you. Thanks for having me follow the Girls on the Run and put it out to you.
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck on that one.
I think I might get her to speak on my behalf. Wow. Anyway, over the past couple months, I've pulled several schools in the area and asked them if they have drug tests, and if they do, what MRO or what drug testing vendor do they use. To my surprise, most of the schools that I pulled do not drug test, and most of the schools that did reply that they do use Novex. For the past several years, we've used Novex here at Farmington. In my experience this past year, it's been a very good relationship. They've been very professional in working in the process. Just to give you a little bit of background, when I was at Bushnell, at Rockridge, we implemented drug testing in those programs, and it was very important that your process was very solid because you want to protect the anonymity, what you call her name, but to ensure that it is truly random numbers that are selected. And the process that we do here go above and beyond that confidentiality and the randomness. It's different than in some other, another school that I was at. It wasn't quite as Loctite as that. The process that we do with MOLDEX is outstanding. Their utilization of a medical review officer is also an excellent part of the process for schools, as it really takes schools out of determination if you have a positive test or any of the communication that comes back. Before you is a contract that we've had that is it's a similar contract that we've had for the past 7 years, really only the past 5, because the last 2 years we did not renew a contract, and I thought it would be important for us to do that. And anytime we're spending money with outside vendors, I think we should have a contract. For the past 7 years, we have tested 17 students altogether, 12 at the high school, 5 at the junior high. I'm unfamiliar with why they chose the number 17. In my philosophy with drug testing, again, I was a part of an implementation at Bushnell as well as Rockridge. Drug testing isn't a method to catch kids that are doing drugs or alcohol or whatever it is, the 10-panel test that you're testing for. Drug testing really is an avenue to get kids out. Now, when they're in a situation, hey, no, I can't do that because my number might get pulled the next time or something of that nature. It's really more a positive approach than it is a negative side in terms of trying to catch kids. I really view it as an opportunity to give kids an out. I think we can still do that. My suggestion or recommendation is go to 10 tests as the contract and the original contract had presented. And then, we're still providing that opportunity. It really doesn't matter the number of kids that you're testing, the fact that you do test. And so my recommendation is 7 students at the high school and 3 students at the junior high. And in the long run, ultimately, this is going to save the school district $2,400 in our drug testing. Any questions?
Just one. I see they test for THC. With the legal marijuana, is that going to be kind of a problem? Is there going to be like collateral damage here? I mean,
yeah, I believe I haven't looked at the new law that's going to go into place January 1, but I do believe that there's an age limit on it, 21, I believe.
I was more like somebody being in a room, somebody else was smoking it, inhalation. I mean, is that a...
Secondhand smoke is an issue, and it could render a positive test. So, yeah, that's a great question. One that I don't, and I think even businesses that drug test are having those same types of conversations and concerns.
But it's just like you said, and when I was in high school, it was the same way. And maybe I'm wrong, but when I was in high school, it was guilt by association. If you were at a party that got caught and you were blowing all zeros, you didn't have not one drink, you were still under violation of the academic code of conduct because you were at that party with alcohol, with minors. So it's a very easy out for kids to say, hey, I can't be around this, I can't be associated with it, I might get dropped. I always worried about poppy seeds when I was in high school showing up on, and I wouldn't eat poppy seed muffins for that reason, because I was always scared about coming up.
It does.
It's an easy out. It really is for kids.
It does fit nanograms in the test. At a very low level, but it does.
But yeah, it's an easy out. If somebody's gonna smoke something that you don't know what you're gonna do, it's an easy out. Hey, I gotta get out of here. I might test positive for it. So that was just me, but.
I hope kids view it exactly that way. I'm out of here because, but
yeah,
if they're there and it happens, I don't know. But anyway, you're aware of that, they're aware of that, so.
Yeah.
All right. I was curious.
Okay. Thanks. Roll call.
Ferrari? Yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Marr?
Yes.
Oldfield?
Yes.
Slack?
Yes.
Stanley?
Yes.
Brewer? Yes.
Okay, bread bid. Enclosed, in your packets, there was a spreadsheet that details the 5 bread bids. You saw it. We recommend the approval of the Alpha Baking Company bread bid. as presented. This bid reflects a slight increase in some of our bread needs. Need a motion and a second to approve the bread bid as presented by Alpha Baking Company.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Sue's here if we have any
Do
questions.
you have any questions?
Just a quick one on the spreadsheet. The first column is the bid we're going with.
That's the bid we're going with.
The second column is,
The HTS is a purchasing program group that we belong to for
Okay.
all our bids. They bid out all our other items. And they also go to Alpha Baking for a bid. So we could also go with that, but as you see, I get a lower bid when I do it ourselves, so. And then GFS provides their own bread, it's Aunt Millie's, and that's their pricing also, so. I
I
just
was
like
just
to
confused.
compare to see that I'm getting a better.
so this other one's kind of the same product through a second group, an actual
Yes.
entire product.
It's through our purchasing group.
Looks good.
Okay.
Not a lot of people in the bread business apparently.
Apparently not.
No, not since Interstate's left here.
Really? Unfortunately.
We sent out 3 bids, I only received 1 back.
No kidding.
Roll call, please.
Johnson.
Yes.
Marr.
Yes.
Oldfield.
Yes.
Slack.
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Brewer. Yes. Raleigh. Yes.
Along the same lines, milk bid. We recommend the approval of the Prairie Farms escalator bid as presented. This bid is slightly higher than last year's bid. You'll notice that we are allowed to offer 1% chocolate milk once again. Need a motion and a second to approve the escalator bid, milk bid as presented by Prairie Farms.
So moved.
Discussion.
One bid?
Yep. We bid out to Swiss Valley and Better Beverages. We're a little large for Better Beverages, but I still bid out to them. Swiss Valley is based out of Iowa. So, and then again, HPS, our purchasing group, bids Prairie Farms. The only difference is Prairie Farms local, they provided coolers.
I read that in the contract. That's good.
HPS would not. We'd have to purchase 4 to 5 new coolers. So, you can see they're pretty higher.
Okay. Roll call.
Marr.
Yes.
Oldfield.
Yes.
Slack.
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Brewer. Yes. Raleigh. Yes. Johnson.
Yes. Resolution to prepare the fiscal year 20 budget. Each year you pass a resolution to instruct the superintendent to prepare the budget for the current fiscal year. I will present a tentative budget at the August meeting, or Dr. Chatterton will present the budget. Need a motion and a second to approve resolution number 070819 to authorize the superintendent to prepare the fiscal year 2020 budget.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. Okay, roll call.
Oldfield.
Yes.
Slack.
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Brewer. Yes. Raleigh. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Marr.
Yes.
YMCA before and after school agreement. Each year we renew the agreement with the Canton Family YMCA to provide care for students ages or grades K through 6 who might otherwise be without supervision before and after school. Nothing has changed in the agreement from the past years. This is the same thing we've had for a number of years. Motion and a second to approve the YMCA before and after school agreement for 2019-2020 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
How many kids are there? I mean, you showed us this corner of the building and the whole deal looked good. Is it any kids? I mean, it's quite a few, right?
It varies. I see you.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing over there. It varies.
I would have said, let's see if I was right, I would have said 15 to 20 maybe.
Oh, 20, a little less.
Yeah, 30-ish, I would say, is our average, but there are some days when it is that low. Yeah.
Yeah. And they do charge something? Is that?
Yes, they do. It's a very nominal fee, but they also offer, the Y offers scholarships. So even if that nominal fee is not within their reach, apply.
The contract looks good, so.
Okay, roll call please.
Slack.
Yes.
Stanley.
Yes.
Brewer. Yes. Raleigh. Yes. Johnson.
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Oldfield?
Yes.
All right, moving on to discussion. The IASB Code of Ethics number 7. We're in July, so the 7th Code of Ethics, 7th number Code of Ethics is, I will prepare for, attend, and actively participate in the school board meeting. Okay, Bill. And number 2, committee reports. We haven't really had a whole lot of committee meetings with building and grounds, things like that going on, on anything, so anyone have anything they'd like to discuss? We do. Oh.
Yep, the new buses are, if you drive by the establishment, we have our new buses that are coming in, and the old ones are going out, of course. Are they yellow? Yeah, as a matter of fact, they are yellow. Every doggone. Woo!
Does somebody go out and actually walk through them and rubber stamp everything's okay and everything?
Tomorrow, we'll do that tomorrow.
Oh, that guy back there does it.
Yeah.
All right.
Tomorrow at noon, it actually gets finalized, we gotta walk through, check them all, we sign off on them.
Good.
So, tomorrow at noon, everybody's interested, come on out.
That does sound exciting.
Thanks for the offer.
That's exciting.
We all carpool.
I don't think so. You can get licensed then.
Probably out there way longer.
Mr. Slack would like to talk about getting his license for the busing.
Take a run, guys.
Did they change the parking lot out there or something? Because they're parking back behind the red barn now.
I think from what I saw, they were putting down more gravel, so they didn't want the buses where they put the gravel down. Because I think it was Stan out there leveling out some gravel, so I think
That is what they're doing. My husband works at Roy Keeble.
There we go.
They're adding more gravel to the parking lot for the buses.
Yes.
Lovely chips, so move the back way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, 2019, 2020 goals. I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Chatterton.
So I'm just giving you some general overarching areas that I was focusing in on with technology, communication, and curriculum. We'll finalize them next month, but I could see just with the logistics of when we're going to have our retreat and such, we may refine those a little bit, specifically in the area of communication, and then the rollout as far as curriculum and the curriculum council. But those are the general areas. If you guys have any input or anything like that, I'll give you some action steps that'll be tangible, like you'll see this as a result in order to achieve the goal and things like that. But I just want to give you the general target areas, and it's a discussion, so feel free.
Okay. Number 4, moving on. August 12th board meeting. That board meeting does fall on the open house night. Open house is from 6 to 7:30. I don't remember what we've done in the past. Does that happen?
I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah.
It happened last year. It happened last year, and it made it very difficult to go meet with teachers.
Both years I've been here, so I put it on the agenda for tonight, just so you know, so we can get this sorted out, how we want to approach
I
that.
do remember, because we did a walkthrough, basically. I think we started late last year. Is that
I
right?
didn't participate in the walkthrough because I went to my kids' classes.
Yeah. I will say that I anticipate that being a big evening, because I imagine our construction manager's firm will be here. We'll be looking at the logistics of timeline when things will be opening up. Lance, our director of maintenance, will be on site to kind of give some input as far as some work and such. So it's a big meeting in that aspect as board members to be on campus and moving around and such, but we also have an open house. So I'm really open for suggestions, but I could just reference, I did not feel comfortable the last 2 years having to approach them.
Parking's an issue. There's park everywhere.
I have no input, I've not been here, so you guys.
Could we have the board meeting on a different night? Like change the Monday?
Could we do that?
Yeah, we just have to, we have to decide tonight.
Yeah, we need to do something.
You can have your board meeting earlier that evening and then attend all the activities and such. You can move to a different night. You can, my original thought was it's kind of nice because there'll be lots of people on campus and maybe they would attend the board meeting as well.
That'd be great.
Or you could interact with people, just in conjunction with, so they're more visible of the work of the board. You usually do not have a presentation, or there aren't usually any recognitions that evening, but, so however you'd like to do, do it, but we probably need to get that sorted out in short order. I don't have an idea.
We're all here.
Right.
So if there's a way we can do it. That's-
I really think that if you're gonna have the construction managers on site, the director of maintenance there, because there may be action items that you'll need to act upon that evening. But we can switch the night and have them there.
Could we move it back a little bit later at night? Is that a possibility for anybody? I mean,
Kate says no.
sorry, I'm pretty sure
that was a no.
That was my idea, out the window.
If it were me, I'd rather go earlier or switch tonight. That's what I would rather, but that's my opinion. And I'm flexible, I can move spot in. If I had a choice, I'd rather go.
Who would like
earlier
to-
or-
who would-
Who would have? I wasn't here, but we're all gonna be here anyway, so that's easy. Like start at 5, something like that. But like I say, that's just my opinion, so.
And is the goal to be done by?
6:30?
I would anticipate the August board meeting, unless there's any last minute hires or something, your personnel activities limited to like your volunteers and maybe some winter coaches and things like that. You're gonna have the first look at the budget for next year. But as I recall, the August board meeting is rather brief, just because we have the open house and activities and such. So I would strongly anticipate it taking less than an hour.
So like do it at 5:30 then, or?
So if we did it at 5, that gives us enough time if we have a closed session or anything in there too, to be done by 6:30. And then that gives you an hour to go through.
Too early?
Can I ask, but I mean, moving it up, and this is a silly thought, I mean, but there's truth in this, that if you have junior or elementary age kids, the sooner you get to the classrooms and get through and meet the teacher, as Ashlyn said, Mom, you need to sign up for the specific room parties that she wants you to be a room mom for, and if you get there late, they're signed up for.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Oh.
It's a big deal to little kids.
You're clearly dealing with something that I don't, so.
Right.
Reese's done that too, I'm with you on that,
You
but.
see, you understand.
If we do it late, how late would it
We wouldn't start until 7:30.
Yeah, I mean, the first year, we started at 7:30. It was a little congested for the people that were attending the board meeting because the parking lots were already full. I remember that being a concern for people. But we did like the tour and availability to see the facilities before while the open house was going on. And then we started the meeting at 7:30.
We still get out by 9 or so, so it's.
I mean, like I said, I would anticipate that meeting maybe taking an hour, just because we have limited recognitions and presentations.
When you said start late, I envisioned getting out at 1 in the morning.
I'm trying to figure out, just close board meeting.
So,
Figure out what we want to move time ahead of time, move it earlier or later. Any thoughts? What do you think?
I wasn't here, but if it was gonna be it caused problems last year, why not just do it on a different night? That's my opinion.
It does matter.
so you want to just push it to the next night, or you want to do the following week? I mean, it doesn't make.
I honestly, like, being a student, it doesn't take me since I'm a high schooler, I just come up here and put myself in my locker, meet teachers. It'll probably take me like 30, 45 minutes or so to get through that, so I'm pretty flexible, I don't really care. It doesn't really affect me.
You're not setting up for parties.
No, I'm not trying to play party.
Hey, it's a real problem, Chad.
They have to limit it to like 2.
How do you feel about the week before, like on that Thursday, the 8th? I'm just thinking about
Yeah, I would think so. It was a little more time.
okay. How about Tuesday the 13th? Wednesday the 14th?
How's
Thursday
Tuesday?
the 15th?
Tuesday the 13th, anybody have any conflicts on that one?
Well,
Okay. try Wednesday?
When don't you work, Kelly? That'd be the easier question.
Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday.
Okay.
Okay, I can do it, I mean, how about it? I'm free those 3 nights.
Wednesday the 14th?
Here.
Okay, that'll work. Okay.
Still start, I would say, we're still starting at 6:30 then?
Still start at 6:30?
Yeah, we kind of discussed doing it until we have retreat as far as.
Okay, all right. Sweet.
The regular time.
Yep, 6:30. So the next board meeting will be, almost 6:30.
That's what we got. 10 days ahead or something.
Okay. Job description update. Farmington Central High School collaboratively updated class sponsor job descriptions. Mr. McMillan, can you explain the changes?
Yes, we have currently for contract 8 sponsor positions, 2 per class. And by the end of the year, last year, there was some concerns over what the job duties and descriptions were for those classes. We did have a couple of issues. It was suggested by one of the sponsors to update the job classifications and, of course, provide some clarity. And then they came up with a new idea. Instead of having 2 a class, and for example, there's 2 freshmen sponsored every year, to have 4 positions that would be stagnant, freshman, a sophomore, junior, a senior, and then 1 that would rotate each class, with each class. And that way, of course, they would get to know the class, the finances, the history behind it. Your class sponsors are not looking at what did they do in the previous year. The other big idea was in that was to have 4 positions that were stagnant to take care of the 4 big events at high school: prom, post-prom, the senior trip, and homecoming. So the freshman class sponsor would take care of homecoming, the sophomore class would take care of post-prom, the junior prom, and the senior trip would be taking care of the senior class sponsor. And then we, of course, updated those job descriptions so there was no confusion into what was expected for those sponsors. So, and I'd love to, Mr. Lambert, he really was the, helped me out a lot. I went back and found job descriptions, 10, 15 years ago. Very, very old, and we felt at this point in time that we should update it, and it was a good opportunity perhaps do something that was more efficient as well.
Reading through it, I loved it. As having been a teacher, I was thrown in my first year to be a sponsor. I had no clue. And it was myself and another branch teacher, so yeah, that should be very helpful. That seems like a very good format.
Does first reading in August and adoption in September fit your timeline?
It would be better for us if we were able to
waive the first reading?
Waive the first reading, and as soon as we come back to school, be able to name those sponsors. Homecoming is early, middle September, and we would really, we'd want those in place just for those events.
Okay, so I guess for you guys' clarification, anticipate a waiving the first reading on that and an adoption at the August. So any feedback or input or anything, please give it in advance.
Yeah, it looked like a pretty good plan.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
Thank you. At this time, I need a motion and a second to enter into closed session for the purpose of personnel, collective negotiation matters, and student discipline.
So moved. Second.
Yes, I do. I need to amend that motion. So we're going to strike that one tonight. We're going to ask for a motion and a second to enter into closed session for the purpose of discussing possible litigation, personnel, collective negotiation matters against student discipline.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Stanley?
Yep.
Brewer?
Yes.
Ferrari? Yes. Johnson?
Yes.
Vaughn?
Yes.
Oldfield?
Yes.
Slack?
Yes.